because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength and you have to be strong.
They're moving past the police, tearing down the barrier.
He loves to arouse passion and emotions. It's the thing he's best at. It's the thing he cares most about is sort of provoking emotion.
To make a peanut butter sandwich, you need 2 ingredients, peanut butter and bread. To make a cult, you also need 2 ingredients. These are a leader and followers. While the names and faces of these 2 characters vary with each cult, their story and their inevitable trajectory from start to finish generally remains exactly the same. Let's have a look. In the beginning, there's a leader who is usually very charismatic and inspiring. They have an air of confidence about them, which is infectious and intoxicating to all those in his or her presence. The followers are usually people who sense something is missing in their life, a hole. They are usually searching for something more, or perhaps fed up with the hand they were dealt with in life, or the way things are around them. This could be feeling angry about why there are so many poor people who suffer, or perhaps they feel enslaved to a job they hate and want to do more with their life. Or maybe it's just that they feel a deep-seated emptiness inside and they're searching to fill this empty void. The leader acknowledges this missing thing that they are feeling, this hole, and he or she tells the followers that they know about this hole. And not only that, but they have the answers and know the route or way to fill this hole. The follower feels great relief in hearing this, and as a result, feels a glow of admiration, respect, and love for the leader. For he has the key, the answer, the missing piece of the puzzle that the followers were looking for all along. This key or missing puzzle could be the promise of enlightenment, getting involved in altruistic pursuits which could change the world, or just liberation from the followers' current shithole existence. Whatever it is, the key or solution the leader provides is usually a worthy ideal or a vision of a situation that is better than the existing one. As time progresses, the followers are guided by the leader, believing that they are being taken to the destination promised by their leader, via a set of actions and beliefs prescribed by the leader. For it is the leader who is the savior. They are all wise, all knowing, they know all the answers. Around midway in the story, some of the followers start to sense something is amiss. They begin to think that maybe this leader isn't all who they claim to be, and gradually, as the story progresses, more and more people start to smell bullshit and question what is being fed to them. In the last part of the cult story, more and more followers start to realize things just don't add up, and we realize eventually that perhaps the leader didn't actually have the key or answer at all. This usually comes as a shock and can sometimes take the followers quite some time to realize it, as just acknowledging this possibility challenges their entire reality and way of life. The follower, if brave enough and listens to their instincts, comes to realize that the leader never actually cared about the followers or their well-being. And when explored more, the follower eventually realizes that in fact, The whole fucking thing was about serving the leader's own selfish desires and needs. A few loyal followers stay, but usually the whole thing comes undone and gets exposed for what it truly was. A cult.
Years ago, farmers milked cows by hand, one at a time. Today, farmers use milking machines. In a tie-stall milking system, the milking machines come to the cows. The cows are milked in their stalls in the barn. The cows' teats are washed with disinfectant, then wiped dry. Then the milking machine is attached. There are 4 suction tubes on milking machines, one for each of the 4 teats on the cow's udder. The milk runs through a hose from the milking machines to a pipe over the cows' heads. The pipe runs the length of the entire barn to a bulk storage tank where it's kept cold for the milk truck to pick it up.
This is an educational video on how cows are milked. Here's a diagram and quick summary of it. Machines are connected to the cow's udder, and when turned on, the machines extract the milk into big vats or containers. This is exactly how cults work. You see, the cows are the followers who are not aware of the milk machine. The leader is the milk machine and the vats. He uses the milk machine to milk his followers and to fill up his own inner containers or vats, which are his selfish desires and needs. What selfish desires, one may ask? There's specifically 3: power, money, and sex, and in that order. Let's look at some examples. NXIVM was a cult documented in the TV series called The Vow. It was founded in 1998, primarily by a guy named Keith Raniere, so he was a leader. He promised followers a path for self-improvement, whose main goal was for people to experience more joy in their lives. The followers were normal and intelligent people who generally felt something was missing in their life and wanted to work on improving themselves and the world at large. These are noble and altruistic pursuits. Followers joined and participated in a set of prescribed actions and beliefs under the assumption that this would take them to the promised objective of self-improvement and more joy. Around midway, some followers started to smell bullshit. Gradually, one by one, followers question what is going on and either leave or confront the situation. And finally, at the end of the trajectory, it's exposed that the whole thing had nothing to do about self-improvement or joy, and was entirely set up to serve this man's own selfish needs for power, money, and sex. His milking machine had been exposed. The Buddahfield cult was a cult that is depicted in the critically acclaimed 2016 documentary Holy Hell. The leader, Jamie Gomez, taught his followers to meditate, become good and clean people, and had them believe that they were going to help the planet through raising the planet's vibration via the meditation. Over time, people started to get suspicious or question what was going on. And in the end, Jamie Gomez's milk machine was exposed. It became apparent that the whole thing had nothing to do with saving the planet or raising the planet's vibration. The whole thing was just a tool to fulfill the leader's own selfish sexual desires with his followers. And now let's look at the Nazi Party. This was also a cult, and also went through the same trajectory. It's called Cult of Personality. The leader was of course Adolf Hitler, who promised the followers a better life, a new world, a Third Reich superpower. He was going to restore Germany's pride and make Germany great again. The followers were the German people who were unhappy with their situation and hands they were dealt. Hitler recognized this unhappiness and also their anger and resentment. he convinced the German people that he had the path or way out of their misery and pain, and he promised them a better future. Around midway in the story, people started to smell his bullshit. People close to him, such as his top generals, realized he was an egocentric megalomaniac and even tried to assassinate him on several occasions. And in the end, in line with the cult trajectory, the majority of the followers began to realize it was all bullshit and lies, and discovered Hitler's milk machine. They realized it was never about the German people. It was never about making Germany great again, and that it was all about fulfilling Hitler's selfish need for power and influence. They realized they had been fooled and milked. And I put forward here that Donald Trump is also a cult of personality, who uses the same methods of manipulation as Hitler did, which I'll break down more in the last part. This is a concern, especially given what we know about the inevitable trajectory of cults and their inevitable destructive aftermath. Or as Winston Churchill once said, "Those that fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it." This is the end of part 3. Here are the key takeaway points. 1. Cults have 2 ingredients, a leader and followers. 2. A cult story has a predicted trajectory with a start, middle, and end. That is, at the start, the leader convinces the followers that he or she can take them to a better life or improve their circumstances by following his or her teachings. Midway, a small group of followers begin to smell bullshit, which gradually increases to more followers smelling more bullshit as time progresses. And finally, with time, it becomes apparent that the leader's promises and dreams for the future were all just a means for him or her to milk the followers to fulfill his or her own selfish needs of power, money, and sex.